We're live. Okay. Are we ready to do this? What's that? I'm ready. Lori here from Unique in the Creek. Are we ready to do this? Actually, I have to move this down. I got my new Archon mount. Oh my God. OMGEE. Right, Ollie? Let's turn this thing up. What? What do you mean? I'm just going to be moved. I just moved it. Still not used to doing it.
You can see the floor.
Yeah, but I'm going to be turning it down in a sec. There. That's better. So how is everybody? Oh, we're already up to 60 people. All right.
AC fixed? No.
What?
She's AC fixed?
No.
I said no.
We are still melting. That's why my hair's wet. We just got out of the pool.
I thought you weren't coming on until 8. It is 8 o'clock here.
It's 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time here. Okay, so everybody wants the Christmas tree. There's a couple behind me. So let's see what everybody's. Oh, I should have grabbed my tablet. Oh, shoot. Let's see. Hi, everybody. Hi, Cher. Hi, everybody. Look at. Hi, Patsy. Hi, Connie. Yeah, it's exciting. Wait till you guys see how easy this Archon mount, I'm telling you, is like fabulous. Once I figure out how to use it, Dave put it together, and I think I have it right. I'm not sure. Can everybody hear me? If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up, please. Okay. Okay. I'm hot. Yes, AC is not fixed still. The unit is pooched, so we have to get a new unit. So, and trying to get an air conditioner person to come in the middle of summer. Yeah. So we have to be patient. We have fans everywhere. We just keep jumping in the pool. Like I said, I'm all wet. I cooled down before the tutorial. So this is going to be a really fun tutorial. It's really easy to do. It's a bit time consuming, but it's time consuming that you can actually do it on your lap, like all our wreaths. The ones behind me, I did make on my lap watching a movie. Actually, I think I was watching Big Brother, a couple episodes of Big Brother, and that's all it took for the green one. So the way I'm going to show you is just going to be, I guess I'll call it the Unique in the Creek way. There's so much creativity out there. You guys will definitely be able to put your own spin on things and do different pedals and do different things with the board. But I'm just going to teach you the one way right now, and you can do it this way, and or you can, once you get your board, you can figure out your own way and come up with something that's all unique to yourself. So I think we'll get started. We're over 100 people, so everybody is wanting to see. Okay, so the board is 20 21 inches,
22.
22 inches high by 16 inches wide. And why we made it like that is because it fits beautifully when it's done in a 24 by 18 inch box by 4 inches. Doing it that way, for any of you that have shipped before, you know that shipping when it's completed will be fairly cheap. It's when you get into the big, like the, the 28 by 28 by 8 inch boxes, that's where you get into the big money for shipping. So I wanted to keep the Christmas tree big enough that it's perfect for the front door and small enough that it's perfect for shipping. Okay, so there's quite a bit of thought when we were doing this, and really, really easy, and you can do anything you want with it. Now, you guys seen my ice cream cone? I made the ice cream cone with the tree board. That was it. There was no extra circle or anything like that. Somebody asked to put a circle at the top or anything, and no, just the tree board. Can also make, which I think I'm going to do, a candy corn, like, with the white, yellow, and orange. Oh my gosh, that would look so cute with a little sign, like got candy or something on it. So that would be cute. The board can also be used to make a great like Santa hat. So you can do it all red with a big, huge pom-pom at the top. You can even put a sign in the middle of the Santa hat and do some white ruffles on the bottom. You can do a witch hat with it as well. You guys will come up with so many things. So it's not only the Christmas tree wreath frame, but it's so much more. And it's so fun to do. So I am going to flip you guys down like I normally do, because I want you guys to see my hands and to see what I'm actually doing. That's the best way I like to do the tutorials. So you don't see my face until the end, which doesn't matter anyways, because you don't want to see this ugly mug anyways. So I'm going to face it down. Let me know if you can't see or if I'm too far away or whatever. Okay, well, here we go. Oh, and at the end, now it's going to take a fairly bit, about an hour for me to put all the petals on. I was going to pre-do one, then I thought, you know what? No, I'm going to do it right from start to finish so you guys can see. So if you have to do something in between, jump on, off, and then come back on, because I'm going to show you how to do the bow and attach ornaments or whatever else you want to attach. Really, really easy. Okay? So I'm going to bring it down. All right. So this is the tree frame. So like all our other frames, it has a bunch of holes. Now, holes, believe it or not, took us about 5 prototypes. Just because the way I strategically put the holes, they layer over top of each petal, so you don't see any of the zip ties, okay? Now, if you were going to do an ice cream cone, you would just turn it around, and then voila, you have an ice cream cone. So I can show you guys next year. I'm not going to do a tutorial this year for the ice cream cone, so we'll do that next spring, but we'll do an ice cream cone using this frame. You can do the candy corn, so you would do, top part white, then yellow, then orange. Obviously, you can see that. Put a sign in the middle of it. I've seen a really, really cute sign at AC Moore that says the neighbors got good candy with like a finger pointing. I think I might go get that one and put it in the middle of the candy corn because I think that's just so cute. Anyways, so this is the Christmas tree form. If you're going to use white mesh, you will use the white or ivory mesh. You'll use the white side. Any other color mesh, you use the tan side. Okay. Now I'm going to be doing this tree with just this green normal deco mesh I got from, I believe I got this from Paper Mart. It's just a normal deco mesh. There's nothing special about it. It does have the metallic stripes in it. You can use all different colors. The one tree I did behind me, I alternated 2 different greens. So I did a lighter green and a darker green. The white, I did I alternated petals with a really full metallic white and then a not so full metallic white. So it gave it a lot of shimmer when the light hits it. So you can do whatever you want with your tree. For tutorial purposes, I'm going to be using this green mesh. And you can buy it at Paper Mart, Craft Outlet, Fuzzy Fabric. There's a place called Fuzzy Fabric online, and they have great prices. I've ordered them from them before, and they popped up in my email again. They have a 15% off sale, and then shipping is only like $6 if you order $100 or more or something like that. And their mesh is really reasonably priced, and it's good mesh. It's not like the Taiwan stuff. So have a check at that when you're finished here, fuzzyfabrics.com. I placed a bunch of orders with them too. And I've ordered them from them before, and I've gotten really good stuff. So I usually use Paper Mart, Fuzzy Fabric, the Tool Shop, the Wreath Shop, Trendy Tree, Craft Outlet, anywhere, like pretty much anywhere there's in stock, right? You get what you can get because wreathing is so popular now that everybody is selling out. Okay, so what I did is I already pre-did my board. So before I went swimming, I went and I put in the zip ties in all my holes I need. So you can see right here. So I did this, of course, sitting with my feet up watching TV. What I did is every set of holes, I put a zip tie in and just loosely, it's all zipped in the back already, just a couple zips tightened just so you could hear it. Okay, so you can pre-do that. And I have these lights. Now, I got these lights from China a couple years ago. And when I bought them, they were supposed to be timered lights. And they weren't. So they sent me all kinds of these lights. And I thought, what am I going to do with these lights? I think there's 100 lights. They're those rice lights. And it's like 10, how long is it, honey? 30 feet long or something? I think it's 30 feet long. I'll have to really double check. But when I was making the Christmas tree, I thought, oh my God, these are perfect because I can put lights throughout the whole Christmas tree. So I've already started, you can see. Okay, so what I did is I took the end of the lights and I left the pack at the bottom, and I threaded it through all the zip ties here, okay, and went around and went back down this side, okay, and then went around and up again in the middle, and then back around and back down through the zip ties again. Now, what I also did is, now when we do put the mesh in, the zip ties will hold the lights in as well, but I didn't want the lights going all over the place while I was trying to make the wreath. So I just scotch taped them to the board. So
people are asking if you're gonna show how to fold the leaves, right?
of course I am.
Yeah, no, it's just people are asking.
Oh, yeah. No, it wouldn't be a tutorial if I didn't show you how to make it.
I got that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to feed the rest of this through my frame. Now, if you don't have the long lights like these, you can use the set of 20 lights and maybe just go around the outside if you want. Or you don't have to use lights at all. That's totally up to you. So I'm just kind of not really going into any rhyme or reason here. I'm going to just tape this down. So like I said again, you don't have to put a lot of tape because the zip ties will hold the lights in after you're done. But I just don't want the mesh getting stuck in there. Okay, so I pretty much have the lights all through. And then this will just come down here. So as long as it's going through the zip tie. And before you do all of this, work putting the lights in, make sure they work, because it would really suck if you did all this work and you went to turn the lights on and they didn't even work. So double check your lights are working. So I have these lights, look at that, all through the tree.
I think you just answered this, but where can you get the lights?
I bought them in China. I have about 100 sets I'm going to put online. They're not timered lights, so you do have to turn these ones on and off. You can get them on Amazon, I believe. They're called fairy lights or rice lights. And I did see some. Where did I see some when I was shopping this week? Oh, they have timered lights at Hobby Lobby. I just seen them. They're in the Christmas section. Now, they're not long like these ones, but they are, they're fairy lights, but they do have a timer on them. So you might want to check out that. I like the timer lights because then you don't have to remember to turn the lights on and off. Okay, so like I said, I pre-put all my zip ties. I'm using 8-inch zip ties, so they're pretty long. I'm kind of liking the long ones because it gives you more area to work with, but they are small, so they're 18-pound, and they have the little tiny head. So it doesn't matter what length they are. Well, it does. You don't want to use 3-inch zip ties because you'll really be struggling to put your mesh in there. But anything like 5, 6, 7, 8 inches, as long as it says 18 pounds, the head of your zip tie will be nice and small. Okay, and that's what we want because we want all the zip ties to fit in the hole and line up. Now, when I was putting them in the board, like I said, I just sat with a whole bunch of zip ties. I think it took me maybe 15 minutes to put all these zip ties in. I made sure when I was going through each hole, each sets of holes, that I went through the same hole each time. So you go up through the back of the board. Here, I'll just move this out of the way for a sec. Okay, so what you do, you're going to go up through the back of the board. Okay, and then around down the corresponding hole. And you're going to just zip. You always want your tail of your zip tie to go through the flat side of the zip tie, okay? So there's a flat part. And when you're doing it, a lot of them, like after you do the first row, you probably don't even have to look down when you're doing your zip ties. As long as you can feel that the flat side of the zip tie is facing up towards the ceiling, you know you have it right. So you're going to just, you hear this little zip, okay? And then you can pull it up. Now, the next hole, you're always going to go, well, I like to keep it a habit of always going in the first set of holes, okay? So this is a set, this is a set. And if you go in the first one of each hole, when you finish doing your wreath and you turn it over and you zip it, and then you pop it into the hole, okay, it's the head. All the heads will be facing the exact same way. So the back of your wreath looks nice and neat, and you just snip off the head of the zip tie. So all the heads will be facing going that way, all the way across each wreath, or each set of holes. Okay? And so you're going to do all that. So when you're ready to do your Christmas tree, just put a movie on or something, and or your favorite show. And then when you're done your lights, I'm going to shut this off. There's 2 holes. They're not marked or anything, but they're just so if you did the top hole, that top hole is for your bow. Okay, we're going to tie our bow on there. So this is row 1. Row 2 here, all I did was went with a piece of twine down through this hole and pulled it out. And then down through this hole. Of course, my ends are all frayed. Okay, so the string is there. I'm going to flip it over, and you're just going to put a double knot in it. Not too long, because this is going to be your hanger. So you want to get your hanger in there before you get all this mesh on there, so you're not digging through the mesh or anything.
Say hello to yourself.
Huh?
Your Sil is watching.
Sil? No, Jackie never watches me. Is she actually on?
She is actually on.
Hi, Sil. Alrighty. Now, the battery pack at the end, I'm going to just hot glue to the back of the board. All right. So I'm going to put this to the side, and then we're going to move on to petals. Now, the petals for this tree, like I said, there is so many different ways that you can do it, guys. But I'm going to show you the way I like to do it. I played around with many different ways. They all looked great. But I wanted to choose one that was distinct to Unique in the Creek. So that way it kind of sets us apart. So when you do your Christmas tree, I can say, oh, that's a Unique in the Creek one. You know, you can do any other kind of styles. You guys, there's other tutorials out there. If you've purchased a tutorial, please do not share the way you did it, okay? It's just not fair to the designer. It's not saying that you can't use our frame to do that technique, but just don't share the technique with others. If they like your wreath that much, they can go and purchase the tutorial from the designer. But this tutorial that I'm giving you is obviously free.
So you can do live.
Huh?
So
Yeah, you can do lives with the tree if you all you want. Okay, so I'm going to put my Scotch tape away. I'm done with that. Just going to I'm going to try and be organized tonight because you guys, most of you, there's a lot of you that, yes, I do have the 8-inch zip ties, Sandy. We have a ton of supplies that we're going to be putting on our website. You've probably read we did sign a new lease for a bigger warehouse and offices. So we are moving starting Wednesday. So we are moving starting Wednesday. So I didn't want to put all the supplies up on the website right in the middle of moving. And I want to make sure that we have the inventory correct and all that stuff. Because last time I did a whole batch of mesh, it got so screwed up. The website was letting people buy the mesh when it was sold out, even though I marked it that, you know, to not sell it if it's sold out. And it was just a mess. So I want to make sure it's done properly. But the tree frame, it will be on the website tomorrow, and the tree frames are going to be $10. Okay? So you could probably finish a finished tree. You could probably sell, you know, if you put the lights in and all that stuff, anywhere between $60 and $80 finished. So, because it does look like, well, it does look like it's a lot of work, but wait till you see how really simple it is, okay? So what I've done is I've got myself an 8-inch piece of cardboard. Dave cut it for me. So just cut yourself a piece of 8-inch. You don't need, now I'm going to be using 10-inch mesh with my handy dandy wreath holder from Pizzazzy Mesh Holders. Thanks, Stephanie, for sending it to me again. So what I do now, you're not going to see any edges of these petals. And that's another thing I like to do when I do Unique in the Creek wreaths, because I, like everybody else, hate frays as well. Okay, I'm not one to do with the wood burner. I would rather sit on the front porch and trim it. But if I can make a wreath without using wood burner or fraying, that's the way I'm going to try and go. Because I do love my electric scissors. Everybody knows that. And I can cut a whole roll of mesh within like 3-4 minutes. Okay. So what I'm using, like I said, is I'm using a 10-inch roll of just green mesh. It's got some metallic in it. And I'm going to cut 8-inch pieces. I've already pre-cut a whole roll of it so I can get going, but I'm going to just show you right now what I do. So you just put your piece of 8-inch. Now make sure it's the 8-inch in length that you put down on your mesh, and you're going to flip it over. Okay. Now for the tree, we're going to use 65 zip ties. So 65 zip ties, you need 65 pieces of mesh. Okay, now it's 8 inches and 10 yards. Do the math, honey.
Huh?
If I did it 10 yards and I cut 8-inch pieces, how many pieces did I get?
Cool.
Yeah, you get your calculator out, you know. Anyways, okay, so I folded it over. Make sure it's nice and lined up. So there's already 2 pieces. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to go about 10 flips. And only because, how many?
45.
Okay, so it's 45 pieces of mesh. So you need, for the Christmas tree, you need about 1.5 rolls of 10-inch mesh, which is not too bad. Just you don't have to use the real expensive stuff. Now, if you want to get fancy, you can combine the nice expensive stuff, you know, with the thick metallic and everything. Combine it with, you know, alternate a piece of the fancy stuff with a piece of this stuff. That way it doesn't cost as much to make, and it really gives that wow, okay? All right, so I cut it off the roll. Now I'm going to cut down the sides of my mesh. Now I've done 10 flips, and I know I can cut down the side with my electric scissors. If you're just using normal scissors, you may not be able to cut through that much. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, you can. It just takes a little bit longer. Watch with my electric scissors. And you get them from Amazon. I've had these for about 2 years now, and I'm still on the same blade. They're rechargeable. There we go. Amazon. All right, so I got like, how many pieces did I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can count. So I got 10 pieces of mesh done. So like I said, if you have electric scissors, you can do a whole roll of this really, really fast. I like to pre-cut a whole bunch, especially like, because if you're going to be, these are great to make if you're doing a road trip. You know, pre-cut all your mesh, put your zip ties on your tree, and then on the road trip, just start putting the petals on and zipping it up. It's really easy. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way. So it is 8 inches pieces by 10-inch roll. Okay. So I'm just going to put this out of the way. Now I'm going to take one of these petals or one of these pieces of mesh in a drink.
What are you drinking?
Coors Light.
You got it in a cup?
Got it in a cup.
No can tonight.
No can. Okay. So you have your piece of mesh. Don't worry about the phrase as I cut it off. It's got a natural curl, so it's got like a U-shaped curl like it rocks. What you're going to do is you're going to, instead of having a square, you're going to make it into a diamond. I'm just going to flip this over so you can maybe see better. So I'm going to make it better in the, oh, even better on the table. Good Lord. Okay, so you're going to make it in a diamond. What you're going to do is you're going to take the top of the corner here, and you're going to bring it right over and just go just above the corner down here. So it's just going to slightly go above it, or so you can see it right there. Okay, so what I've made is kind of an umbrella shape. So I got it in a diamond shape, and it's got the curl up. You're going to bring this down and over top of this corner. Now, what I do for the petal is I try and make sure it's lined up as best I can. Now, I'm going to put my fingers like this. So what I'm doing is I'm holding this corner down with my thumb, and I'm kind of stretching right up the middle the mesh, okay? So I'll do that again. I'm going to fold it over, just slightly over the corner here. I'm going to put my thumb here, and I'm just kind of stretching it so it's flat, and it's right in the middle. Because what I want to do is I'm going to take this corner now, and I'm going to bring it right down the center. So you can see there's the center. So right over top of the corner. Okay? that down. Then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to bring this corner and I'm going to kind of just overlap, just a little bit overlap that one I just folded down. Okay, so this is kind of what you've got. I'll bring this down a bit, the camera, so you can see again. I love this mount thing. I hope Aaron's watching. Okay, I'm just going to bring it down just a little bit closer right now. And I'll do this again. Okay, so I'm another piece of green mesh. Okay. So it's square, kind of cockeyed square, but you can't really tell. So I'm going to turn it into a diamond, taking the corner here, I'm bringing it right over this corner. Okay. I'm going to hold my thumb to hold this down, and I'm going to kind of just stretch up the center, the mesh. Then I'm going to take this, and I'm going to start right at this finger right here, and just fold it down right down the center. Okay, do you see how I did that? And then I'm going to do the same with it going over here on top of this one. So it's making almost like an envelope type formation here. Okay, and then I'm going to just squish it up the middle. Now this is what you have. Now I use clothespins all the time. You guys know that. They're just extra hands. Okay, so this is what your petal kind of looks like. We're not going to use this side. We're going to use this side. So we're not going to see the folded part. That folded part is going to be on the bottom on the board. Okay. So I'm just going to do one more petal just to make sure you guys got it. And then I'm going to show you how to put it in. Because once you get the petal down pat and putting it in, that's pretty much the whole thing of the tree. So it's not bad. 1.5 rolls of deco mesh. Or if you want to use poly burlap or whatever you want. Just don't worry about the frays, because as you can see, you're not going to see any frays. So again, I'm going to take the corner. I'm going to go over top. Okay, I hold my thumb and kind of stretch it so it's flat. I'm going to take the corner and bring it straight down. So you can see it's lining up with this corner. Then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Just overlapping this one just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to take and just squish this in. Oops, where's all my thing? Okay, so now I have my petal, and like I said, there's going to be like an envelope type formation. We're going to have that facing down. Okay, now what you're going to do, you are going to take your board. So you can make a few of these petals and just put clothespins like I did. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the end, so the one that's obviously not this part. You're going to face this envelope part down, and you're just going to put the tail through your zip tie and zip it up. Okay, so it looks like that. Now this is where you have to be really careful, especially if you have lights on, that you don't cut your lights. Okay, that has happened before at a workshop I had. The lady would make this great snowman wreath, and she cut the lights. Yeah. Okay, so that's our first petal. Okay, and you're cutting about, if I had a ruler, here's a ruler. So if you want to be precise, what you can do is, I think it's about 4.5 inches that, and I'll show you in one sec what I mean about 4.5 inches. I'm going to take my beautiful pen that Carrie made me. So there's one and about 4.5. So this is 4.5 right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a petal, and from the tip, so hopefully you guys can see this, from the tip, you can take your clothespin off. The tip to this mark right here is where you would squeeze, okay? And that way you have precise petals all the way through. So they'll all be 4.5 inches. So just don't let go of where you pinched. I'll try that again. So I'm putting the tip of my petal at the 0, and then I'm squishing here at the 4.5. Don't let go of your pinch. Put it in and have your zip tie right where your fingers are, and then just pull. Okay. And then if it's a little bit off, you can unzip it. Now, once you've hit the zip tie has hit the board, don't get it really, really tight until you've pulled it to the other hole. What I mean is, if you pull it really tight here and we need to move it over to here, it's going to be very hard to move. So what I like to do is, once the zip tie head hits the board, that's when I move it over and kind of pull and tighten so the head pops into the hole here. And you can cut off the zip tie. Now make sure I have a little garbage bucket here, because you're going to have a whole bunch of mesh that we're cutting off the tails, and you're also going to have a bunch of zip tie tails. Now I usually cut my zip ties off all at the end. Okay, so it's zipped on, so we can cut this off, make sure there's no lights underneath, and just cut. Of course, I picked the dullest scissors I could possibly get. Okay, now as we go up and the layers get on, you do not see any of the zip ties, okay? So they just kind of layer on top of each other. Now, it's still nice and flat, so it does fit between 2 doors. But you still have that 3D dimension because of the layering.
Cut that 8 inches, right?
Yes, it's 8 inches on a 10-inch roll. And I'm going to make my petal. Now, I usually just do this on my cutting board to measure it. Pull down, and then once you pull down, you can let go and zip it up. It's a little wonky, but once it's in there, you can fix it up a bit. Okay, you can flip it over now and put it into the hole. And if you want, you can cut your now, if you want to put a trunk, so a brown trunk, I put it on, let me see, the green wreath behind me. You can see this one has a trunk. The white one, I didn't put a trunk. I'm going to show you how to do one right now.
It usually only takes 1 roll, doesn't it?
No, this tree takes 1.5 rolls of 10-inch deco mesh. All right. So the one I did behind me, I used brown felt. Let's see it again. Okay. Take this down. I can't take it down. Okay, so I used brown felt for the trunk. This one I'm going to use brown olifant. Okay, so we all love the olifant. It's awesome material. Now, when I did the trunk, I did do the trunk at the end, but I'm going to show you guys how to do it before we get all the petals on. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 zip ties. So if you count 4 in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the center of the tree. Okay, so there's 4 this way and there's 4 this way. So we want to keep our trunk centered. I'm not going to use this zip tie. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of my olifant. Okay, so I can get this. Where's my matte, you guys will be able to see it better on the pink. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Ollie Fun, and I think both sides are pretty much the same. I'm just going to pinch it kind of up, just like that, okay? And I'm going to get a clothespin and hold it, clip it closed. I'm going to use 4 pieces of Ollie Fun. This, what I cut them at is 6 inches by 10 inches, okay? You can cut it as long as or as short as you want. I did it longer, that way if the trunk is too long for my liking, I can trim it down. If I do the trunk too short, it's a little harder to fix it than if it's too long. So it's easier to take away than add. Okay, so I got 2 pieces. So I'm going to do 4 pieces like that. So I'm just scrunching up near the top and kind of making a pleat. Okay, so I have 4 pieces. What I'm going to do with these, now we got, this one is my centerpiece. So I'm going to use this same hole. So your center hole, I'm going to use a shared hole. What I mean by shared is I'm going to go through the bottom, okay, and it's already got a zip tie in it for the petal, and I'm going to go over and around through this one. Now it looks a little more difficult than it actually is. Once you get going, you'll be able to figure out what I'm talking about a little bit more. So what I've done is, this is the middle zip tie for the petal. I've gone and used 2 shared holes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick 2 of these into this zip tie. Might be a little bit of a long trunk. And then I'm going to pull this zip tie tight. I know, I'm a clothespin queen. It is. It comes in handy. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this hole and this hole for the other set. So up through the bottom, always up through the bottom and then down. That way your zip tie heads are at the back. You don't want them at the front so anybody can see them. Okay. So again, this is my center. I'll put a clothespin on it so I know that that's my center. And then I'm going to take these 2 that I scrunched, and I'm going to put them in between this zip tie and pull down. Now this might be a long trunk, but that's fine because I can trim it up after I'm completely done my wreath. Now I'm not going to trim it up now because once it's done, you'll be able to tell more of how it will look. So this, because don't forget the petals are going to come down to about here. So this is probably the perfect length. I'll be able to tell in a few minutes once I start putting these petals on. And you can also put another piece of brown there, but I don't think you need to. So like I said, you can do this. You can do this with burlap. You can do this with Ollie Fun. You can do it with felt. If you want to, that's if you want to put a trunk on it. I think it looks really cute with the trunk. Anyways, all right, let's continue on with our petals. So again, just stick this through, hold it, bring your zip tie down. This is a bit long. There we go. And zip it in. Now you're going to want to keep cutting your tails of your petals as you're going, so they don't get in the way. That's why I said keep a bucket or like a garbage pail, little garbage pail beside you, so you can just toss all your garbage in it, and it's not all over the place. I'm just going to trim some of this away. Okay, now I'm going to make a couple more petals. Now, for the next probably half an hour, what I'll be doing is making petals and putting them in. So if you have to go do something, go do it now. Unless you just want to sit and watch me make petals. I usually have stuff pre-done, but I thought, you know what, because this was the debut, I'm going to do it right from start to finish.
How big is the olive one?
Oh, I cut my olive fun. I cut it at 6 inches wide and 10 inches long. But I was just guessing. I'd like to have it long, like I said, longer than rather than shorter. That way I can trim it up if it's too long. But if it's too short, I have to totally redo it. Like cut the zip tie and all that stuff. So if you have a really good spouse, you can have your spouse with a whole bunch of clothespins making these petals for you. You used to do it, didn't you, babe?
How many comments?
I know, but you used no, I meant you used to do sunflower ones for me.
Oh yeah.
Make petals for me
Like
while we were watching TV.
like penny blossoms.
Penny blossoms. She'll be coming round the mountain. Any questions?
Comes.
Hi, Carrie. There's Carrie. I got your pen, Carrie. I'm using your pen. Carrie Tillman, she makes these awesome handmade pens. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, right. What are you talking about, John? Yeah, right.
Who's yeah right?
Sure. It says yeah, right. In that.
What, your hub? Does that mean your hubby won't help you, Michelle? I think that's what the yeah right is.
Janice has a really good spouse. He will do that for me.
Yeah, I do too. He used to do sunflower petals for me all the time when I used to make wreaths. So again, the folded side that we did with the petal is facing down. What, babe? Sorry, I didn't hear you. The fan's going.
Who makes the pens?
Oh, Carrie Tillman. She doesn't sell them, though. She's crazy.
Where do you get the clothespins? You get the clothespins anywhere. Dollar
I
store?
get them everywhere. Now, these metal ones I'm using right now, I've got from Home Depot. They were more expensive, but holy man, they are like vice grips. They work really, really well. So as you can see, I'm just putting a bunch of petals in. And then I'm going to trim them up and flip it over and do all that stuff all at the same time. Now, I'm not measuring anymore the 4.5 because I'm just you can kind of guess, and it's a tree. Now, the beauty of this frame is if you want to make a Christmas tree with actual green boughs, so you could make a Christmas tree wreath with actual real live greenery. So you would just slip your greenery, your green boughs or your green pieces, or even an artificial Christmas tree, slip pieces into each zip tie and layer the Christmas tree so it actually looks like a real Christmas tree. Now, I know my sister-in-law, I don't know if she's still watching, but she always gets real. What, honey?
She's still watching.
Is she still watching? She always gets real wreaths. So maybe if she's good this year, I will make her a real Christmas tree wreath for her front door because I love her. I went over there this weekend. I had to see my babies, my American babies.
Listen, I'm answering this right. The petals were cut 8 inches and then you folded them into 4.5 inches, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So these are about 4.5 inches long. I'm just guessing right now, but
No, I was trying to answer it.
Oh.
I think I
Yeah, see, it's about 4. There's the 4.5. Now, if they're not in too tight that you can't pull them down, if you're really OCD and you need to have each single petal 4.5, I'm a good guesser, so I pretty much guessed 4.5. I'm pretty much spot on. All right, so I got the first row in. I'm going to flip her over, and I'm going to pull and pop into the holes. Now you'll have a few more heads here because of the trunk of the tree. Oh, I went in wrong with this one. That's okay. And you're going to pull and tighten as you're popping them into the hole. Okay, and now you can cut off your tails of your zip tie. So not only you have an amazing wreath, the back of your wreath is also beautiful too. But try and get a habit of going into the same holes all the time. So you see how well, except for this one, this was from the trunk. Let's see if I can move it over. This is what I mean when I pulled it too tight. It's really, once it's tight, it's hard to push over. Oh, there we go.
You don't have, there's not a set rate for shipping.
No, they're probably about 12 ounces. They're not going to be too bad too. They're not going to be as much as the horse, but they'll be a little bit more than the character and flower wreath. They're still going to be shipped in bags. That's why we made them rounded, so they won't break the corners or anything. All right, so I'm zipped all in. Now make sure when you're cutting, you're not cutting any wire for your lights.
How many petals are there on that?
There's going to be 65, which is 1.5 rolls of 10-inch deco mesh, which is really cheap because if you only pay a couple dollars for a roll of deco mesh and you only have to use 65 zip ties, you can get 100 zip ties for like $3 or $4. Now you can use pipe cleaners, for those of you that like pipe cleaners, but why would you want to when you can pre-do all your zip ties and just keep sticking your petals in, and then your back looks nice and neat. Okay, so now I'm done the first row. I'm going to move on to the second row, and you'll see how it covers all these zip ties. So it takes another thing.
It's $10 for that frame.
It's $10 for the frame, yes. And the frame is 22 inches by 16 inches. So when your wreath is done, by the time you put your bow on the top and everything, and your trunk, you're looking at about 24 inches. I don't like this piece. You're looking at about 24 inches finished, which is great for shipping. Like I said, you can use a 24 by 18 by 4 inch. Don't get anything over 4-inch box. Costs a little bit more for shipping. So that's another thing I like about our frames. They're not bulky, so they do fit in between 2 doors, and they ship nicely. Much nicely. Much nicely. Babe, can you grab me some more clothespins? I only brought a few over when I grabbed some. So anybody do anything interesting this week? And we didn't do much. Well, Dave did. Dave stockpiled on these Christmas trees. Now, I don't know if we're going to put a limit. Like I said, we are going to be in the middle of moving to the bigger warehouse on Wednesday. So we'll probably be moving all week. My assistant will still be available for all answering all the questions. So don't hesitate to ask any questions or anything. But I don't know. Did we decide if we're going to do a limit, hun?
I don't know.
For right now, kind of like we did the horse. We don't want anybody ordering like 20, 30 boards. And
I tried to say right.
I know, and everybody else not being able to get one for, a bit. Because right now we'll be the only ones. Like we have 3 manufacturers right now doing the flowers and the character boards, but we're the only ones that make the horse board, like physically make them here. The horse board and the Christmas tree.
Zip ties on the site.
What?
Yeah, zip ties on
The zip ties will be on the site. I have ordered and received hundreds of bags of them. They're 8 inches, they're the exact ones I'm using now. And there's 100 in them. They are not on the website yet because of our move. It will just be too chaotic to be putting new stuff on right now. But it won't take us long to move.
The tree, just so everybody hears, the tree goes on tomorrow.
Yes, the tree frame will be on tomorrow.
No air done, and it's hot in here.
No air. Yes, we are still having no air. So as you can see, the petals are going over top of the petals below, and you don't see any of the zip ties. So as you can see, you don't need to use a wood burner, so don't use a wood burner. I don't want anybody inhaling plastic. I try to, like I said before, I try to make every wreath I can without having frays, because I really, really don't condone using the wood burners. And I'm an advocate for that. I just don't want to see in like 10 years, all kinds of wreathers have lung cancer, because it did happen with the burlap, and I'm one to clarify that. I used to use burlap all the time, and I didn't wear a mask. And it started to be that every time I used burlap, I couldn't breathe. Like we got an air purifier and everything. We never even thought of the little fibers from the burlap floating around the air. And after a while, I really couldn't breathe. And I had to go get x-rays, and it was the burlap fibers. So to this day, I have a really hard time with burlap.
When you're shipping these, is the only option priority post?
I think so, only because the other is so expensive.
She said, I bought the scarecrow board, but my only option was priority, too expensive. I'm not sure.
Oh no, it should be first. There's the only one should be like first class. I don't know the whole USPS system. I don't know if it's where you live that determines it, because our website is hooked up with United States Postal, and it determines, so we just plug in what the weight is of each product, and then the US Postal determines obviously what the shipping is going to be. So it's not us. We just do the weight of it. And then I guess it also determines where you live, what your shipping is going to be. So if you do have a problem, if it's really, really high, just give us a message, and I can see if I can ship it somehow else. But usually it's around, so if you got about 5 or 6 boards, and you're like mid United States, it's about $7 to $8, I think.
Did you say what size that's going to be when it's finished?
It will be around 23, 24 inches when it's finished. Okay, done another roll. I'm going to go and snip off these tails, making sure there's no lights that I'm snipping. Just make sure the lights are still, I didn't snip it. Okay, whew, still there.
3 boards were almost $60. Oh, something went wrong there.
No, 3 boards are definitely not $60. I can tell you that. Well, where are they shipping from? Like, where's it going
I
from?
think she said Texas.
Oh, it's definitely not $60. We have lots of Texas.
Not happy with not being able to get rose tutorial. Betty, I will get after this tutorial. We'll take care of you and get
Betty
you.
who?
Betty Davidson. She's having a hard time trying to message us. We'll take care of you after the tutorial. I've got her name here.
Now the rose tutorial we have done. I don't know if you guys all heard about the fiasco of somebody that shared the tutorial on YouTube, and it got out. It was out way before I even knew it was out. Okay, so there was a lot of people that had already downloaded it, and I didn't even know. It was up on YouTube for a few days for free. I had no clue. Somebody posted it on one of the Wreath sites, and that's when the poo-poo hit the fan. So I couldn't justify charging new people for the rose. So when you do buy a flower board, you do get the rose tutorial for free as a bonus. Those of you who have bought it prior to July 15th, I apologize. This wasn't my doing. I really didn't want it out there right now, but it was out of my control. So hopefully you sold a lot of roses while you had your rose wreath between April and July.
$60 to San Diego.
It's not $60. We'll have to figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah. Marilyn, we'll have to look into that because it should not be $60.
So now you guys can see why I just pre-do all my zip ties. And just zip it in. And then at the end, cut your tails off. Do your zip ties nice and tight. So if you have a cutting mat, you can kind of put the tip, and you can kind of see it's 4.5 where I've squeezed. But as you add on, they all overlap. Betty will fix your problem when we're finished the tutorial, hon. Is Tanya on? Do you know?
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen her? Yeah, so we had to take everything off YouTube. And I put it on Vimeo, which I'm not happy with either. So right now, I just have too much to worry about. Other than having tutorials leaked. We're really busy. We're trying to get all kinds of things completed before the Christmas mad rush. That includes moving. So I want everything up on the website by like the 1st of September. I want us all moved. There is a rumor that we will be moving to plastic. I don't know.
What are you doing? Cindy, this tutorial is your instructions.
This is your instructions. I'm going to upload. This is just one way that you can make the Christmas tree wreath, okay? This is just a way I came up with that I haven't seen before. I wanted to do something different that when people see the tree, they're going to know it's a Unique in the Creek tree. There is all kinds of other ways to make the trees. You guys will, you can figure out your own and make your own special way. You can do it this way. Like I did with the horse. I did a couple different tutorials for the horse. One, I made the unicorn, which you can use the same as the horse as well. And then one I made with the burlap. And they're just as easy. The horse is just as easy as this tree. So just saying, if you're a little worried about doing the horse, if you think you can do the tree, you'll be able to do the horse.
Where will this video be after you're done?
It's going to be on Facebook, but it's also going to be on our web page. So right now, both horse tutorials.
Yeah, people are getting concerned that they're wondering if they're going to have instructions.
Oh, yeah.
Where are they going to get it?
No, this will be uploaded on Facebook. I do have a professional videographer I'm going to be working with because I'm going to be redoing all the tutorials. Obviously, they're not very great tutorials. I did them like the flower ones. I did them like in March when I didn't even know people would even like my frames. So you guys got to keep in mind, now it's what, 5 months old now we started at the end of April. So I've had to do a lot of stuff within that 5 months. So
eventually all your tutorials going to be on?
Yes. Eventually, hopefully all of them. But like I said, I want to redo them so they actually look professional and nice, and it's getting there. It's a process. So if you just bear with us, like this Christmas tree, you do a tutorial. I don't want to do a whole tutorial when all you're looking at putting petals, same petal, all the way down the frame.
And we really are nice people. If there's any problems, just message.
Yeah, if you have a problem, message us. Tanya is amazing. Yeah,
we try.
we're looking pretty spiffy here, aren't we? How many people think they'll be able to do it? Give me some hearts if you think you can do this tree. I don't think you can get any easier than this, I'm telling you. I've even spaced out. Oh, good. Lots of hearts. Lots of thumbs up. That's what I like to see. So as you can probably tell, putting ornament and stuff onto your tree is going to be super easy because you just put wire. But I'm going to show you. But you just put wire and you go through the holes. All right. So, like I said, whenever I do wreaths, I want to do it where I can sit with my feet up in my recliner and do it on my lap. So, this is what I do. And watch TV. So, like, you'll probably see that when I time something, okay, I really needed another pair of scissors. Of course, I only have like 200 pairs of scissors, and I grabbed the dullest pair, right? When I'm timing something, I'm usually timing it by how many episodes it was. So if it was like 2 episodes of Big Brother. And we have an Android box, so there's no commercials. Oh, my hands are getting tired just from cutting with the scissors. I think it's just the camera. I could probably, like, you know what? Maybe I'll lift it up a bit since everybody can kind of
When you move around, it goes out of focus and everything.
Look how pretty this is already. Look, guys. Can you see the sparkle? It's just, I don't know, apple green or something. I don't even know what it's called. Hold on. Actually, I'm mistaken. This mesh I bought at AC Moore. It was $5 a roll. It is called nothing. I have no idea. It's just it's not a dark green, but it's not a lime green. So now these ones, you want to make sure that they're over so you don't see the edge of your board. And once you're done your whole tree, you'll be able to move stuff around, make sure everything's overlapped. So there always should be a petal in between the middles of the other petals.
You know what we should do? We should check out the electric scissor people and start selling them on our site.
I know, right? I think they're sold out on Amazon. And there's pink ones too. Yes, the meshes, I only cut 10 by 8. There's no need to cut 10 by 10. You're just wasting mesh. We want to use as little supplies as possible to get the most return out of selling our wreaths. So that's why I said you don't need anything fancy, any of the fancy mesh. And if you want to add fancy mesh, like with the thick metallic or something, do every other one. That way it's still really pretty and shiny, but you're not wasting as much money. That way you can do 2 of them with 1 roll. So you can do the petals like the style of the sunflower. You can't even really see the lights. Hopefully you can see them when it's dark. Maybe I should have put the lights on top. I never even thought of that. Duh. I usually don't use rice lights. When I do get the, I'm still waiting for stock to come in for the timered lights. But like I said, I have seen when I was at Hobby Lobby yesterday, they did have timered battery operated lights. I think they were $5.99. So, and I think they are Christmas ones. So I guess if stuff is on sale at Christmas for Christmas, those lights will probably be on sale, or even use a coupon. What?
I just thought of something.
What?
They're saying, Heather was saying that the broadcast was interrupted a couple of times, but this is a tutorial, so if there's interruptions in the broadcast, you might have to redo this.
I'll probably redo the tutorial anyways, like with the videographer.
Yeah.
But this is, this is good that people, if they want to order the board tomorrow, they'll be able to start Christmas trees.
Yeah.
So if you order it tomorrow, you'll probably, Dave did a stockpile. I don't know how many he stockpiled, but there's got to be at least 100 there. So if you order them tomorrow, they will probably be in the mail, I think Wednesday, because we have a few of our shipping staff doing our packing and stuff, like I said, because we're moving. So I'm not used to just sitting and wreathing. I need like TV show or something on. What'd you do?
I pinned a comment, but I don't know how I pinned it.
Yeah,
Oh, there it is.
Leanne, you'll be able to order the frames tomorrow.
Sorry, I was out chasing a bird in the yard, so the ties come on the board and all they do.
No. You'll have to put the ties on. Good Lord, if I had to do that, I think I would go batty. Just like I said, it took me maybe 15 minutes. I pre-did all the zip ties. Just sat and watched my shows.
Rebecca says I can't wait. I'm dying to do a silver tree with red balls.
Oh, yes, nice.
I thought it said Red Bulls.
Red Bulls.
That'd be pretty accurate.
So on this Christmas tree, when I'm done it, I am using silvers, reds. I'm doing a big red bow. Now wait till you see my cheater bow. You guys are going to die. Now, keep in mind that I am a DIY teacher, okay? So I like to make everything simplified, easy to do. Well, I guess that would be simplified, and less supplies. So as you can see, you could teach a Christmas tree wreath, no problem. But what I'm going to show you at the end is going to blow your mind. And it's what I use in my workshops because, well, I really don't want to teach people how to make bows. And I don't have enough bow makers for everybody to use. So I cheat. And I'll share my cheat with you at the end. Now, I have my Pro Bow, which I absolutely love. But there's a lot of people out there that don't have the Pro Bow. There's a ton of tutorials on YouTube on how to make really nice bows to put on top of your wreath. You can also, I have my friend of mine making one of those little mesh angels. So I want to do a really pretty like white Christmas tree with a mesh angel on top instead of a bow. So that would be really, really pretty with like white ornaments or something on it. So you can make your Christmas tree fun with all like reds, greens, and everything, or you can make more.
What does the back look like? I want to look at the back.
Hold on.
Okay. And
You can make a more elegant one. You could even use like, oh, that would look so cool, like white Christmas tree with like black ornaments and black and silver or something.
did we decide on a limit or not?
I don't know how many is stockpiled. I guess that depends because I think there's going to be a lot of people ordering these. So we'll be able to, we'll tell on the website. We'll let you know about the if there's a limit. If there is a limit, it's not going to be it's not going to be for long. Like we had a limit on the horse and we've lifted the limit now. It was just a way to make sure that everybody could get one without waiting a long time. Okay, you guys want to see the back? These are the rows I've done. See how nice and neat that is? That's your back. So another thing that's great about this is get yourselves, I ordered them on Vistaprint. They're little round circle stickers. If you have a business, get those little circle stickers, and they're not expensive. Put your logo on it and your website, and put a sticker on the back of the frame so that when you send it out, you'll get more customers because that person that you sent it out and puts it on their door, they'll have friends come over and it's like, oh, where did you get that? And if you have the sticker right on the back of your wreath frame, and this is for all the wreath frames, not just the tree, it's much easier for them to give your information out than trying to look up where they ordered it from and all that stuff. So make yourself up some stickers. You can even go to Staples or Office Depot and get inkjet ones and just get like some kind of, it doesn't even have to be round, even an address sticker or anything that you can put through your printer just so you can put it on the frame of who made it in case somebody else wants to order it.
White tree with aqua ornaments.
That would look nice. White tree with anything. I have a real white, it's not real, obviously, but I use a white Christmas tree. And I bought a white one because all my Christmas tree, the whole thing is Disney collector ornaments. So they're the, what's the brand name that I collect, honey? Anyways, my Christmas tree is worth thousands of dollars. Like these ornaments that I collect.
Oh, you're a Disney nerd.
And I'm a Disney nerd. And I have over 200 of them. They are, I'm going to lift the thing up now. But I like the white tree because it displays my ornaments prettier than the green. Like the white tree, my ornaments don't get lost. And I love my tree. Although it takes me forever because each ornament is wrapped in tissue paper and it has its own box with the label because they're collector. I have a couple of them that are worth like $100 just for an ornament. So, and I'm hoping that when I'm dead and gone, my 3 kids, because they know how much I love my Disney tree.
They're gonna sell them and buy a bunch.
I know they'll probably end up selling them and everything, but I'm hoping the 3 of them will split up the ornaments and start their own Disney Christmas trees when they have their own family. I think that would be so great. Like, there will always be a piece of me at Christmas, but they'll probably sell them.
What people are chomping on the bit. What time are you putting these up for sale? Is
I
it like
don't
a
know.
midnight thing or?
I don't know. What do you think?
Try not to. It hurts my head.
We haven't really talked much today.
How do we know if the ties are the correct ones? They're 18 pounds.
Make sure they're 18 pounds, okay? And you can use 5, 6, 7 inch. You don't want anything over 18 pounds because then you're getting into industrial size. Now, let's keep in mind these are cable ties, right? So they're really not made for crafting, although Michael sells them and everything. As long as you get 18 pound, you'll have the small head. That's what's most important, is the smaller head. And do you have one of the bigger ones? If you get like a 24 pound zip ties or something, you'll notice the heads of the zip tie are a lot thicker and the body of this is really thick. You don't need that. And they're more expensive. That's a key thing. You shouldn't pay more than probably $3 or $4 for a pack of 100. I know Amazon had a really good ones. They were sold out a bit. I'm not sure if they're back in stock again. So, and another fun fact. Fun fact.
Fun fact with Lori.
Yes, you will be able to soon. Well, this is a wonky one. To soon get Unique in the Creek wreath frames on Amazon. So if you need them really fast, you'll be able to get them Amazon fast. Now, that's not including the Christmas tree or the horse.
It'll be slightly more.
Yeah, there'll be slightly more, but obviously because you're getting it from Amazon and you'll get it like the next day. So we'll try that. Of course, you still be able to order it from our website. I think a few of the stores may start carrying them. I zip tied this in. I guess I could have just left it. Again,
What's everybody think of the trunk?
Well, I might trim the trunk.
I think
It's kind of wonky right now. It's just because I have to fix it. Well, I have to fix it. I just stuck it on there. So don't be critiquing over there in the corner. Is everybody loving the tree? I'm not even being able to read this yet.
I can't read. I'm sorry if I don't get to your.
Okay, this one looks a little bit. There we go. Oh, that one over here. So like I said at the beginning, it does take a bit of time, but not too long. And it's not like it's hard. It's just time consuming.
You get to sit and listen to Lori's story.
Yeah, get to sit and listen to me for now. It's much nicer when you're watching a movie, not listening to me yammer on. So we also made a big decision and put our trailer and our boat up for sale. That was a hard decision to make, but just the way our lives are going these days, we want to travel more. And we like to do the really hot in the winter. And through the summer, I'd like to see more of Canada. But because we have the trailer, we go to the trailer all the time, which is really nice. Nice, like, getaway and stuff. But we're getting older, and the boat is quite a big boat. And like, we haven't even took the boat out of winter storage yet. Taken the boat out of winter storage yet. So Now, I know it's just because this year has just been so crazy for us, but we did make that decision that we want to travel. And having the trailer and the boat and everything hinders us from wanting to travel because we feel that we should be out at the trailer park because we pay, yearly for our fees and everything. So that was a really big decision. I think it's a good one.
I think it's a good one too.
Yeah. Like, we had our fun. The kids are older. They don't even really come out anymore. They don't want to go tubing anymore. And pretty much just me and Dave that go out there. And if that's the case, I'd rather travel. Maybe we'll go across America maybe we'll buy another trailer that we can just pull with our truck, honey. And then just go, those people, and then we'll just go across America with our Unique in the Creek trailer.
Unique in the Creek trailer.
We'll get a bus that says Unique in the Creek on the side.
We'll park in the Walmart
And
parking lot and do wreathing classes.
Yeah, we'll do wreathing classes across America. Oh, that would be hilarious, eh? Then we can meet everybody.
Oh my goodness.
Speaking of meeting people, I can't wait to the convention. I know a lot of you are not able to go, and that's unfortunate. I would have really liked to meet a lot of you, but maybe next year. Or maybe, like I said, we'll do wreathing across America. But I'm really excited about the convention. All the speakers, like, these are people I watched when I was starting wreathing,
What was that?
A?
That's Michelle.
Did I say A again? I need another beer.
So. Take a drink if you did.
First stop we'll make, honey, is Texas.
There's a lot of places to stop before Texas.
Yeah, but Michelle's in Texas. She's going to come to Canada, and we're going to take her to Niagara Falls. We're going to take her to Toronto. We'll take her all over the place. She can go on a boat ride, the Maid of the Mist.
We invite everybody.
Yeah, everybody come to Canada. We'll all have a big... Maybe I should do a convention in Canada.
And then we'll all travel down and everybody else.
That would be really cool. Can you imagine if we were able to do that? You never know.
I would love to. These people are so wonderful. I love to meet them.
I know. You never know. One day we may get big enough that we can just actually do that. Go around across Canada and Winnebago, in the creek, and go meet everybody and wreath with them. That would be like my dream. Ah. We're almost done.
Yeah, there's people all over the state. I think go and just visit everybody.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. We'll just get a Winnebago, park it in people's parking or driveways,
Like
and hold wreath parties in their house.
Like Uncle Eddie.
Like Uncle Eddie, yeah. Shooter's full. This is monotonous. But like I said, don't do it in silence. Unless you want to just totally concentrate on it. It is therapeutic. Just don't cut your lights. It is very therapeutic because it's not hard and you don't have to do a lot of thinking. But when you're done with it...
Cousin Eddie.
Oh, I almost cut the light there, I think. Let me check. Oh, phew.
I said Uncle Eddie. Cousin Eddie.
Cousin Eddie.
When did you start wreathing?
I started wreathing about 6 years ago. And I started teaching wreathing. And it wasn't just wreathing I taught painting techniques and all kinds of stuff. Pillow painting. But I started doing do-it-yourself workshops probably 3 years ago. It was about a year after my back surgery because I couldn't go back to work, and you guys probably all read my story and everything. So that was my escape, was going, because I love, as you guys can tell, I love to talk, and I talk a lot. And being at home and not having a career anymore was really, really boring and not fun. So I started just offering wreathing classes, and to the point where, I would have to tell people a week ahead of time when I was going to post my class, because they would sell out in like minutes. But then that's when the whole wreath frame, when I started, was because it was really, really hard to teach wreaths, especially, like, I didn't want to do much more burlap wreaths. What are you laughing at?
You can bring Snots, your dog.
Who said that, Michelle?
No.
Oh.
Love that.
Snots. We do have a snot. Duchess, she drools everywhere. Yes, I'm in Stony Creek, Ontario. I am from Niagara Falls, so I was born and raised in Niagara Falls. And my brother and my family, my nephews and everything, they live in the States, just outside Buffalo. So we do have a Unique in the Creek in the States. So
No, we do not have a Etsy.
no, I do not do Etsy. I really don't even sell wreaths. I've never really have sold wreaths. Like, I've sold wreaths at craft shows. I've never really sold them online. I sold them maybe in like the buy and sell things on, just locally and stuff. My main thing was teaching people how to make their own wreaths.
You need to do a pillow tutorial.
Oh God.
Says Kobe.
Oh yes, Corinne. Oh, hi, Corinne. Corinne is one of my students that was when I was at Simply Elegant. She frequented a lot. Her and her sons. Her sons came. They were like the greatest little crafters. But unfortunately, my back will not let me do workshops anymore. I never really set them up and stuff like the kids and Dave would set them up for me. But the last workshop I did, my back was so cramped and spasmed that I had to call Dave, and he had to come and carry me out of the car into the house. And that was the very last one where I said, that's it. I can't do them anymore.
What kind of rotary cutter do you use? She doesn't use a rotary cutter because she can't pronounce it properly.
Shut up. It's a rotary. I don't use a rotary cutter. I use electric scissors. I do have lots of rotary cutters. Shut up. He makes fun of me because I can't say it right. But you can use whatever you use. Like I said, you don't have to use a wood burner for this because you can see that you don't see the phrase. And I would rather you not use them if you don't have to. But if you're going to make a lot of wreaths, especially, Unique in the Creek wreaths, because a lot of my tutorials involve seeing none of the sides.
Then you can't say
Tutorial. Yeah, there's just words. What's another word I can't say? The best is when my best friend's husband, John, he says Wimbledon. He can't say Wimbledon. Wimbledon. Almost done, guys. Almost done. Thanks for staying with me. So as I said before, I'll say it again. You can use different color mesh. My last green tree, I did some light mesh, dark mesh, some with the thicker metallic, and then this normal metallic mesh.
shipping prices. Shipping Canadian or American?
No, everything on our website is American. We have a courier service, even though we're in Canada. I do have a shipping facility over in the United States. We have a courier service that goes every single day and brings our packages to USPS. So it's not just because we're in Canada doesn't mean you're going to have a longer waiting time, because you're not. We send hundreds of packages almost every day, right, and drop them right at USPS's door, and they're out on the truck that day. It'd be nice when we're on Amazon, because if you do need it like the next day, lightning speed, like we get them out pretty fast, but we're definitely not Amazon. And it depends, how much stock we have. Now, like I said before, if you've watched a tutorial or a Facebook Live of mine before, we are getting a new manufacturer. Hopefully by the end of August, we will be able to produce 1,000 boards a day. Since we are just so swamped. You guys just love us, which is great. I love you guys too. But we're not, even with the three manufacturers, we can't keep up with the demand. So, and again, there's a rumor that it might be plastic. So if it's plastic, it will be weatherproof. It will be non-breakable. It will be neutral color frame that you don't have to, you won't see it.
Oh, gee, it just might be.
It just might be.
How do you know where to put them? It's easier for you just to explain it than it is for me to write it. They're on the board.
How did it put what, honey?
Where to put the leaves. It's because of the board. Turn the board over.
Okay, just a sec. On the board, there's sets of holes. And that's what I'm doing. I've pre-done. Each set of hole has a zip tie in it. So I pre-did this before the tutorial started. And when I flip it over, so there's no guessing. You know exactly where to put your pedal. So I know on the wire wreath frame, now keep in mind, when I was doing, I've done 1 million wire wreath frames. I know all about them. Yes, they may be cheaper than our frame, but they are a little more difficult to work with, which is why I made this, especially if you want to teach. And I'm telling you, people, workshops is where it's at. That's where you're going to make your money. Because people love, love, love to use their hands and make pretty things like this. And they go home and tell their friends, oh my gosh, look what I made. Proudly display it on Facebook. So you can teach about 20, 30 people at the same time in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. You have 20 wreaths done, and you didn't even make one. That's what I liked about it. And it's so satisfying. The most satisfying thing about teaching workshops is the people come in and you can tell they're terrified that they're not going to be able to do it. Because most people they're not the craftiest, but they want to come out and do something. Because let's face it, this day and age, everything is technical. You don't really make anything with your hands anymore. So workshops are really booming because people want to make stuff with their hands. Look at this. We're almost done. We're almost done. Oh, the back of the board. So as you can see, there's sets of holes, and you just put zip tie in each set of holes, like I've done up here, and you're making the pedal the same way every time, and you're just sticking it in, so you don't even have to think of where to put it. If you see a zip tie, that's where you put a pedal. My Jackie? My Jackie, I know you can do it. You can do any of them. They're all easy.
Did your hubby mass produce them so we can all get them.
Well,
You're
he
all
did
gonna-
as best as he could.
You're all going to get them. It's just
I don't know how many more I need here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know. I think I got 10. I'm not sure. I should get Jackie to do one, because if Jackie can do one, I can honestly say anybody can do one.
how much do you charge for a workshop?
Well, it depends on it all. I get this question a lot. It all depends on your area. It all depends on where you are going to rent a space. Now, when I first started workshops, and I wasn't really that big, I would rent Michael's rooms at Michael's because they're free. Yeah, but they only fit maybe 12 people, which was fine for me at the beginning, to start out. So I would rent Michael's. Hobby Lobby has spaces. Once I started getting a little bit bigger, I rented community centers. They have spaces that you can rent, small halls and little work room, rooms that fit 20 people. And then I got a little bit bigger than the community rooms that I started renting. I would rent a local Legion here, and I really, really loved the Legion because it was an infantry Legion, so it was the Royal Hamilton Infantry. So, and they would always have, because most times Legions have an open bar, or a cash bar, not an open bar, a cash bar. So I could offer people, so the women would come on a Friday night, they would come, they would have a couple beer, glass of wine or whatever, and I didn't have to run the bar, but the drinks were really cheap, so they weren't gouging you or anything, and you could actually offer, I would call it cocktails and create, because they offered pop and everything else, but you could actually drink and have a girls' night out and make something. And so I always hold them there, and they got to know me so well that, they bent over backwards for me. And I would have people coming from all over Ontario to come to one of my workshops. So it did get pretty big. But I really liked the Legions. And so my point was, it depends on how much you're going to actually pay for your hall or wherever you're holding it. And, if you got your mesh on sale.
That was the other question. Do you get them to bring their stuff?
No, I brought everything. So that's why I have 200 pairs of scissors. So I bought a whole bunch of scissors. Now, if you're going to hold workshops, get yourself a wholesale account. So look around at different places and ask if they have wholesale. I had a place in Ottawa, Ontario, that I could get scissors, really good scissors, these kind, for less than $1 a pair. And I would give them their package of zip ties, their roll of mesh. I would just tape rulers onto the table right in front of them so they can measure right in front of them. So you don't have to buy everybody a measuring board. And so they would cut their mesh. So I would give them a measuring thing, like what I was using, the cardboard, but I would give them this one's 9 inches. So they could just do a couple flips and cut up the side. Because I did have everybody using a rotary cutter, and I had them having their own cutting mat, but I found it just was way too time consuming waiting for them to cut all their mesh. And that's how I came up with flipping the mesh, or with the cardboard. And
Your brother's here?
my brother? Get out.
I'm serious.
Are you serious? Where? I gotta see this. We have a celebrity in the house.
He says, I'm going to bed with Jackie if she can make one.
Jackie, I can't believe that. Where is he? Sorry guys, I gotta look. My brother Does where?
That was supposed to say bet. Oh.
Bet. That was supposed to say bet, not bed. You're gonna have a bet with Jackie? Oh, I'll come over. I'll help you. I won't help you, Jackie, but I will give you a personal tutorial just so you win that bet. Hopefully that wasn't in the rules that I couldn't help you. Babe, can you grab me another beer? Okay, guys, we are almost done. Oh my gosh, my whole basket of stuff just fell over.
You know what? We're going to get,
Or what?
we're gonna get a different carrier for this thing now.
It's not, I don't know. It might be the camera. I don't know.
I know the picture's blurry. Yes, everybody's having a blurry screen. Oh, sorry, guys.
Where are you going? Swimming? What's the matter? What's broken? I think Jay should make one. Jay, will you come on a Facebook Live and make one with me?
Good luck on that one. He's been outed now.
He's outed?
So we know he's there. He lurks.
He lurks. He's a troll. He's a Facebook troll. All right, we have 4 more left and we're done. Woo, 4 more left, La. We're almost done. Babe, my whole thing of ornaments and bows and everything just fell over on the floor.
Uh-oh.
So now the only tails that you're going to see when we finish the Christmas tree is the tails up top here. But more than likely, you will be putting probably something on the top, like a bow or a star or an angel or something. So you won't
Fine to me.
see the tails.
I don't know what else to say.
Where?
I'll get them.
Okay.
I just need a beer. I'm
Oh,
thirsty. I'm thirsty. Oh, we're almost done, guys. Thanks for hanging in. See, I was going to pre-do one like I usually do. I always try to pre-do, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to make the whole thing so you guys can see really how easy it is. Just a bit time consuming.
mountains are blue.
Mountains are blue. We like that. Last 2.
Mountains are blue.
Thanks, baby. Mountains are blue. See, you guys are seeing the picture blurry, and I'm looking at my computer screen, and it's not blurry.
Yeah, it's
Is it blurry on your, honey?
yeah, it is blurry.
It is blurry? Let me see if I can move it up.
Hold on, we're trying to fix it.
So, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why it's blurry.
I said put your hands under it. I read them, but I was away from the. We read the messages.
Now, I have one of these really good phones.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
One of these good cameras. I'm getting myself a new phone, too. So,
We're trying to fix